Sonny, age 24. I live in Los Angeles. I keep smiling. I grew up in this house, immigrant parents, a brother, a sister, about 10 years apart.
How did you become in charge of the home?
Well, my dad left, then my sister left, and then my mom left, and then my brother left, and then I was like the only one here, so I guess I wasn't, the one they would have likely wanted to be giving the reins over to, but I'm here. And my mom encouraged me to go to the Coast Guard because of financial reasons. Thus, kind of gave me the lack of a push to go to a 4-year. I was working at the smoke shop, and I was just making cash. A lot of under the table things. To a point where I thought that I didn't need to go get in any type of higher education. I could just open up a side business. It really just rooted and routed me towards the idea that not having an education is fine. In the college, I don't need a diploma or a piece of paper to take me to where my finances need to be. But now it's at a different stage in life where I do need that diploma and the education to fall back on. Because once those smoke shop dreams dissipated, I didn't have anything to fall back on financially. And now I have to try to regain my footing in the professional world. It's not as easy. I mean, like I said, for those first couple years, right after high school, I guess I was doing a lot better financially because my peers were in school. And I had to work. There was a point where my resume couldn't get built higher. It had a threshold, it had a ceiling where I couldn't go past that floor unless I had a degree.
I know you've got a couple extra rooms. Do you ever rent some of those out as well?
Yeah, one of them rented out right now. The other is on the market, as you would say, I guess. I try to have people rent them coming from Korea, students, friends, people I trust. Like bills, I just write them down. I know how much I pay, but I know an X amount, I spend this much for what, and I just subtract that from my monthly earnings just so that I'm pretty aware of how much spending money I do have. And that's just the basics. It's good to spend your credit card, you get your points back, you build some credit, but don't spend it unless you have it.
What do you like to spend?
I spend it on happiness.
It's a good way
spend
to
it
put
on
it.
my smiles, and my memories. I've only fell in love a couple times in my life. Oh man, this is the second time I think I fell in love. A little 1979 Mercedes Benz 300 SD turbo diesel 5-cylinder, a 2.8 liter. I mean, you can't get any better in the 79 era, I think.
Well, boys, here she is. Nothing like a turbo diesel. Leather. Now, talking, not just brown, this is butterscotch. This is butterscotch. You hear that purr? It's not really a purr, it's like a roar. But it just keeps going. It's a roar that just won't stop. Roar, 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 roar. That's all I hear. And then you turn it off, it sounds like a different day. I haven't washed it in a week, but it still just looks immaculate. It's like a really, really good-looking person who hasn't showered.
Yeah, I told him I'd think about it. I had about $3.5 grand in my pocket. I was like, can you go any lower than 5? He said, yes, we can go 45. I was like, I can't do that right now. I'll just go home, think about it. I made the long drive, half a block around. And then just waited at the gas station and acted like I was at home. I waited 30 minutes. I gave him another call. I was like, I have 32. I told him I have 32. And he said, okay, just come back and we'll talk. And $3,200 when you're 75 and you live alone in 20s looks like a lot. It looks like a lot. So I just spread it out on my lap. And I was like, hey baby, do you want this or not? And he was like, Yeah, he wasn't so happy, but he gave me the title.
Being charged of all the responsibilities, being the head of the house. Would you say this has added to your life or interrupted it?
I used to say it interrupted, but there's no way that it hasn't added to my life. Because, like I said, I thought it was a burden, but it's, 4 walls and a roof over my head, and I don't have to worry about where I have to go sleep. And
So you live on your own. What's it like when you're sick?
like, I've been hit by a Lincoln Navigator while I was going downhill, and it was going about 35 miles per hour. So I know hurt, but that, like, pushing that in, sometimes it just doesn't go in. So I've had times where I can put it in, but I have to, like, run out for help and, like, ask somebody. Like, one time it would be like my girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, or it would be my aunt or my uncle. And when you really need the help, ask for it, because you're not gonna just be able to watch Sunday football with your shoulder popped out. It's fucking painful.
Do your friends understand all that you do?
There were some times where I was like, wow, I am doing things that you guys aren't even in the world of. I try not to compare myself to my peers from high school, because from the beginning there was nothing to compare. I mean, we come from different worlds. That is the extreme that you have to, like, bounce back from, where you have to know where the edge is to find out where the middle is. Because, like, you party so often or you party so much, you're gonna get sick inside. And then you don't do anything, you'll get lonely, like, inside, and you'll be alone. So there has to be a balance. And without that, like, parental guidance, it was all self-taught. But I love living by myself. It's the life. I love it. I get to roll the dice every day. I can just be free of thought and learn from my mistakes.